welcome to this session with Fasthire Services. We're excited to have you come discuss with us about networking.
My name is Chibunna Ogbonna. First of all, I'm a lifelong learner. I am an entrepreneur, so I create solutions to problems. I identify problems in the society. I think about solutions on how to solve them and create a business out of it. My major motivation is to create jobs and see how to improve the economy of Africa as a whole. That's one of my driving forces. So I work in the intersection of clean energy and smart cities. So I double as a clean energy company founder, or not just founder, but as a clean energy entrepreneur and a clean energy professional, and also a real estate professional. So I work in these intersections of smart cities and sustainable energy. Yeah. And then also I have authored two books, The Power of Networking, Power Tips for Strategic Networking and Crazy Successful Events. And these were just books that I decided to share with the world, to share my experience about, networking and how I've been able to benefit from this art of networking and, to encourage other people to also benefit from it. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm still learning, I'm still building. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Chibunna, and especially for the gifts of the two books you've authored, which would also be the links to those books will be added to this video so that people who need it will also have access. So just quickly, tell us about the art of networking.
Sure.
How does networking come to you? What do you think networking is, or what do you think people should understand about networking?
Okay, so like the way the world is formed or the way the world is created, people are interdependent. Okay, that's the first thing. Like we are much interdependent. Okay, meaning that you cannot be an island on your own. Meaning that you need people to survive. You need people to thrive. You need people to achieve success. Right. There is this notion of self-made millionaires or self-made billionaires. Yes, well, while that is true that the people who achieved such remarkable feats were able to go on their own and start something or build something or sell something, still they needed people all along the journey to get to that grand destination. So as human beings, we are very much interdependent. That's the first thing, and that now, you know, opens me up to share that networking is now the art of finding people who you are interested in, right? And seeing how you can, add value to them. So first of all, interest is very important. So um, you are not just interested in the person because of what you can get from them, or you are just interested in the person for who they are. Okay, and people can sense it from from the way you even talk to them, from the way you engage with them, from the way the questions you ask them about themselves and all that. And then you now offer value. And offering value is by identifying maybe one or two things that they are working on or a challenge that they're having and seeing how you can be part of it or how you can help them, navigate that. Another overview of networking is it is an opportunity for you to, learn from other people. So what do I mean by that? So in life, as we go on our journeys, like we learn so many things, you know, based on our own experience, based on education, based on our parents, our background. But when you start interacting with people outside of your immediate environment, you get to understand that there is a lot more that you don't even know that you need to learn. Right, so it's an opportunity for you to learn. Okay, networking again, it's also an opportunity to foster progress within the community, within the society, within a nation. Because when people come together, there is an exchange of ideas, there's an exchange of values, an exchange of culture, an exchange of life experiences, and this interplay of experiences, values, you know, and interests now form what you now have, like you now have a very coherent nature of approaching a challenge or or trying to solve a particular problem. Because when people now exchange these ideas, they now arrive at a general solution to say, okay, let's do it this way. Or if there is a resource that is lacking, they are able to contribute to those resources. So in general, I believe that networking is actually the pathway to success. You cannot achieve any remarkable success without, you know, understanding and applying the art of networking itself.
So, thank you for that introduction to networking. In this our generation, what would you say is the greatest challenge people face in terms of networking? What are the greatest networking challenges? One would naturally think, because of we live in the information age, social age, where there are a lot of opportunities to network via social media, but there are still people who struggle with um, networking. What would you say are those challenges a lot of people face, and how can they tackle it?
Okay. Yeah, from my experience, okay, people are different. Like we have different personalities, okay, and yeah, so personality is a very major factor in networking, the networking landscape. So, for example, you can meet people anywhere. Like you can meet people at the church, at the mosque, in school, in your apartment, right, on the street, at the airport, anywhere you can meet people. Like people are literally everywhere, right? And the most common place to meet people are events. It must not even be a professional event. It could be a wedding. It could be a birthday event. It could be a house party. It could be any event where people come together, right? But I'm still going back to what I said the first time. It's about having a genuine interest in who you want to interact with. That's the first thing. So the challenge that people have, that I've noticed, first of all, is as a result of personalities. So some people are naturally introverted, right? And others are, wired to be extrovert. For myself, I'm more of an extrovert. Okay, so I'm like when I get into a place, I'm the one smiling. I'm the one, looking for the most interesting thing about the environment. I might not notice any wrong thing in the environment at the first instance. My brain is wired to look out for the best in that period, look out for what is the most exciting thing. So I'm naturally excited and enthusiastic, right? So that's just the way I'm wired. However, some other person might be introverted. Yes, they might find things interesting, but they might not express it. It might be wonderful, but their personality does not allow them to really express it. But when you come close to them, all right, you now get to even understand that, wow, these people are even more aware of what is happening in the environment. Okay, so the first thing, like I'll use an example. I was at an event and I found someone just sitting down by themselves, and I walked up to them and to the person and interacted with the person and got to learn more about the person. But everybody else was just busy chatting, exchanging a contact, but the person just sat down there all alone, not talking to anyone. But it also took that self-awareness and also took that emotional intelligence for me to walk up to the person and say, no, this person shouldn't just be sitting down all alone in this vibrant environment. This person needs to, interact with other people. So I walked up to the person and started a conversation, right? So that's also something. So if you are someone who is extroverted, right, by nature, I think it's your duty. I'm not saying you must, but I think it's your duty to actually walk up to people who might seem more introverted and then start a conversation, right? Don't just flow with all the people that are, vibrant and yuppie and
Like yourself.
yourself. Exactly. Like with emotional intelligence, you can understand your environment, observe. So it also comes with like self-awareness, empathy, um, emotional intelligence. These things are very important in terms of how we relate as social beings, right? So with that, the person will now understand that, oh, this guy or this lady has a genuine interest in me. Just by walking up to the person and striking up a conversation, you've already opened up their heart, and from there the conversation, and then really take interest in them, listen to them. Don't just come and talk about yourself and all you're about. Take time to listen to them and then let them ask you, okay, what are you about? Then you share, but make sure that they are the ones more talking about themselves, right? So, and then like I said, I talk about the personality. Then secondly is that there is this mindset that, oh, networking is about just exchanging business cards, which is like the most common thing that you find at professional events. So yeah, people exchange business cards, but how many people actually follow up after the event to send an email to the person they collected business card? Like, even for me, I'm also talking about myself again. I have a pile of business cards that I've not followed up, and I'm sure that all those other people who I exchange my business cards with also have a pile of other business cards that they took from different events they've not followed up on. So you can have that initial engagement and everybody's excited and happy, take pictures, and excited and all. But that does not translate to networking. Networking is not just at an event. It's not just a process of exchanging business cards or contacts. You can collect somebody's number, you can collect somebody's LinkedIn account, you can collect somebody's Instagram handle and all that, but you don't follow up. Then you've not actually networked, you know. So that's another thing. So people just exchange it based on the heat of the moment, and after that event dies down, right? After all that excitement goes down, then everything just stays the same. Yeah, and it takes discipline to actually intentionally say, okay, I network with this person at an event. I will have to follow up. You don't have to wait for them to reach out to you first. Reach out to them first, even if you're not expecting anything in return. Reach out to them first and make that initial contact, and follow up on that. You never can tell where it can come from. Offer something, offer a link to a course, a link to an article you found interesting, anything at all that is of value to the person, that you engage with. You can, and then I'm going to share another wonderful secret that I also learned from my journey about networking. So let me finish on the challenges. So another challenge is that there is this mindset around just people using each other. Like, I'm trying to put it in a more let's say in a more diplomatic and interesting way. So it's more like just like the way we're having this interview right now, right? Like a give and take relationship, kind of like you give me something, but we are not, this interview we are having right now is not based on that you are paying me one huge amount of money to come on your platform to have this done. It's based on the relationship we have built over time, that you can ask me for something and I will just do it because I don't even need to take money to do it. And even if you give me money, it's just an appreciation, and I'm not even obliged to receive it if I don't want to receive it, and you're not even obliged to do so, based on that relationship that we built along the line. Do you see? So it transcends beyond just that give and take kind of relationship whereby, oh, I can do this and you can do this. Okay, I do this for you, you do this for me, and that's all. So, and so many people have limited networking to that transactional relationship. And for myself, I don't like that. And anytime I network with somebody and I find that they are kind of a transactional person, I tend to avoid them, because it's only when I'm needed that they reach out to me, right? There's no relationship, right? So networking is about building long-lasting relationships beyond transactions. Yeah, and it comes by, first of all, taking genuine interest in people, having empathy, and being self-aware, and also having that emotional intelligence and social intelligence to know how to give value first to people before expecting anything. In fact, don't even expect anything back. Just take genuine interest in people. Just take genuine interest in building relationships with people. That's just the way networking works, right? And on your own, keep doing what you are doing. On your own, keep doing the amazing stuff you are doing. Let your light shine. Keep doing the amazing stuff you are doing. If they reach out to you for help, if you can, help them. If you can't, find someone that could help them and connect them. Do you understand? So by doing that, you find out that things start getting attracted to you. There are some things you don't need to ask for. There are some things you don't even need to struggle for. Like, doors will be opening naturally for you because you are not a parasitic, or you're not a transactional person. Those are the challenges I've noticed in networking. And then the last one is that some people don't just know how to go about it. Like, some people are really wonderful people, they are empathetic and all that. They have all those things naturally, but they don't understand, okay, how do we go about this thing? Like, it's so complicated. They don't really understand the how will I put it now? Like the methodology or the step-by-step approach on networking. And it can be so overwhelming. Like, you can just get to an event or you get to a place. In fact, you can even be in a moment where you need to network, but you don't even know that this is the right opportunity for you to network, because you can't, like, you don't have that understanding, like, you don't have that sixth sense to grasp that moment. Okay, so but I believe that by the end of this interview, there will be so much gem to help more people, to appreciate the artworking and get value from it. Yeah.
Is there a right time and a wrong time to network? And this is coming because there's the part of emotional intelligence. Do you think there's a right time where you can push for networking approach, or there are times where, or every time is for networking?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, it depends on the scenario. Okay. So you can be online and you are engaging with someone online, right? And like just sending chat or exchanging voice notes or something like that, or you just followed somebody and you introduce yourself and they introduce themselves, and you start chatting and exchanging. Maybe you have an introductory call on Zoom or Google Meet. That's online. Okay, there is no right or wrong time to do it. It just depends on the need of the moment, right? And what you and the person who are in the network are actually looking out for, right? So the online side. In terms of the physical networking, right, whereby you have to maybe be at an event or you have to go somewhere, right? I think there is a right time and there's a wrong time for networking. So the right time would be when, number one, everybody not that everybody looks energized, but everybody seems eager to open up and connect. You can feel it in the environment. Yeah, everybody's active. Maybe just after coffee break, or just very early when people are just arriving at the event, they've settled down. And they're not looking around. Maybe there's nothing yet to do yet. That's a perfect time to go and walk up to people. So that's why I come to events very early, earlier than the scheduled time of the event. So if an event is by 10, I should be there at least 1 hour before the time, because within that hour you're going to meet the hosts of the event. And now the hosts of the event are great people to meet, right? Also, you're going to meet volunteers of the event. Those are also wonderful people to meet. Okay, you're also going to meet the early comers as well, just like fellow early comers, and that's a great place to start a conversation, because there's not so much people, there's no so much noise, no so much distraction. It's more cozy and more like you get what I mean. Like people are more active and energized very early in the morning. Yes, so that's the perfect time to network. Then a wrong time to network is when people are actually looking for what to eat. Like, please, when you go for an event and it's time for lunch, right? Or the time before lunch and during lunch, please don't try to start a conversation with people at that time. You can actually have a conversation while there is food on the table, or a coffee or something, or a snack, and you're now eating and talking, and exchanging those pleasantries. Okay, you can do that. But while the person is on their way to get the lunch or the refreshments, please don't interrupt them, because at that time they're already saturated. They're just looking for how to just release the stress, right? Yes. Then another time to network is towards the ending of the event, when people are rushing to go, right? Especially this I find especially with high net worth, or high people of let's say those people that have been invited for the event, like the speakers, the judges of a particular event or something, or just people that like the guests of an event, right? Meeting them and approaching them on their way out of the event, it's not even a good time to invest, because anything they're saying at that time, they're not listening to you. Anything you're saying to them at that time, they're not listening to you. And this is from experience. Okay, they're not listening to you. You're like a nuisance to them at that time. They're tired, they're exhausted, they have another appointment they want to catch up with. They're already late for their appointment and they're rushing out. If you go and meet them, then you're just wasting time. It will not go anywhere, right? Even if you end up collecting a business card and you reach out, they won't even remember you, because after that event, they went somewhere else and they met more people and they're already exhausted, And somebody can be like, oh, who are this? What do they feel like? This, that. But no, when you get to that level, you understand that it's really stressful. Like this high value individuals are always on the move. One, they are always flying, they are always on business trips, always in meetings, always sharing their knowledge, always learning, always networking. Always, so their time is limited, right? So what you need to do is come very early for events, and most especially guest speakers, high value people, come very early as well for events. So that's why I advise people to come very early for events. Okay, come very early and meet them at that time. You make a lasting impression because you have more time to interact with them. You have more time to make a lasting impression, right? Ask them more questions, and during their sessions, when they are speaking or when they are teaching, right? You ask them questions. That way, they can remember you more. And then, based on the fact that you've already talked to them earlier in the morning before the event started, and you've asked them questions while they were on the panel, it will feel like you're already friends. It will feel like they already know you from 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And immediately after the event, when you walk up to them, they exchange your card, they take your number, and when you reach out after the event, you are easily remembered. Yes. And that's how, and then you take it off from there. Now you now start adding value. You now start, supporting them too in their work. Not just about telling them, oh, this is who I am and this is what I want from you. No. I don't know if you get me. This is who I am and this is how I can be of help. This is how I can be of support to what you're already doing. That's the first step. Give value first and don't expect anything in return. Okay. So remember, genuine interest in people, giving value first, and just being a great person, when you meet people for the first time. Make a lasting impression.
So, if someone wants to start their networking journey, maybe they've been an untitled person and they want to start their networking journey, what would be your advice to somebody who is starting? How do they start to open up themselves for networking opportunities?
Okay, the first thing is for you to know yourself, first of all, right? And then assess your journey, like assess where have you been, and they say we are like the average of 5 people we spend the most time with, right? And this time around, in this season of my life, I'm being very conscious of those 5 people that I am always spending my time with. So it's even better not to spend time with anybody at all than to spend time with people who are not advancing you, right? Who are not challenging you to become the best version of yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So the first thing is for you to know yourself. Then the second thing is for the person to assess where they are in their journey and where they would like to be or where they would like to go next. So when you assess where you are, where you have been, and where you want to go, it will give you an idea of what exactly you need to do, right? For example, personal development. You cannot just be an anyhow person and go and think that you can network with high value people who their mindset is different from yours. So it starts from personal development. So how are you developing yourself every single day? What are the habits you are putting in place to develop habits and personal personal ethics that will allow you, and then your mindset as well, that will allow you to kind of in Gen Z's we say vibe, that will allow you to vibe on the same level with who you are talking to. Yeah. Exactly. They might even be more accomplished, they might be older in age and all that, but mindset can be, there's a harmony and frequency of mindset that you can vibe at that same frequency with them, based on the fact that the same thing you are thinking, that's the same thing they are also thinking, right? And our thoughts are not based on our age and money and all that. It is based on how we develop our mindset. So the person has to first of all know themselves, assess where they are in their journey, and start working on personal development. Then from personal development, you now start even knowing what kind of events you need to attend based on your needs and your wants, right? Okay, I want to be a finance person. Okay, they're having so many finance events around and you sit down in your house. That is wrong. Or I want to be a musician and there are so many music concerts and plays and all those things and arts and music events happening in your area and you don't go. That's wrong. Okay, so it depends on what that person wants to become, who they want to become, right? And then another thing again is to look out for mentors, right? People who you aspire to become like. So That way, you start researching about them, watching their YouTube videos, their Instagram accounts. You find out those who they are following, right? And those follow them, and you follow those people just like that. Especially on LinkedIn, there is this stuff called mutual connections on LinkedIn. Exactly. So when you check out a mutual connection of someone, you can connect with that person, and from there, that's how you keep expanding and building your network, right? So the first step is, like I've mentioned, let the person know themselves, assess where they are in their job, start working on personal development, right? And then from there, start looking out for opportunities to engage with people of like minds. Yeah, so that's the first step.
Number one, how do we maintain connection with our network? So you build network, it's very easy to always forget or lost touch. How do you maintain connection? Number one. Number two, how do you revive lost networks? So you used to have some connections and then you lost them. How do you revive those connections? So, and then how to identify networking groups that would help you grow. So these are the three things I need you to comment on.
Okay, on maintaining networks, right? The first thing is, like I said, you've already made that first impression. You've started engaging with this person and or this network, and along the line, maybe things are no more, like you're no more active, or the network is no more active. How do you maintain this network? So the first thing, like I said, is ensure that you yourself, you are also an advancing person, right? And what do I mean by that? It means that you are someone that is committed to self-development, someone that is committed to professional and personal growth, okay? So that way, you will always be a valuable person. You will always be a person of value. That's what I'm trying to emphasize on, okay? First of all. Then secondly, it now takes conscious effort and discipline, to say, okay, these people are important in my life. And remember, you didn't build these networks because of a transaction or because of of what you are going to get. These people are like people, your people for life, basically, right? So from time to time, work on them. So I make it a duty every single day to just remember, okay, who is one person I've not reached out to in a long while, and just say, hi, hello, I just thought of you and I thought to check in. That's all. You don't even need to do much. That alone makes the person understand that you are thinking about them and you have them in mind. I've done it I did this thing for someone like 2 or 4 times, that on their own, they started reaching out to me to also check on me. Okay. Do you understand? We are all busy, especially now that we are, in our early stages of our careers, even for those networks that are already accomplished people, they are even more busier as they are getting more success. Along the line, So, maintaining that network is by being a person of value and making that discipline of reaching out once in a while. Yeah, it's not easy, but you can do it. And then for lost networks, okay, first of all, always try to leave an opening. So the sad thing about life is that sometimes some networks fall off on the way. Sometimes the purpose of that network kind of ends, right? It's in phases and it's in seasons. So it's not your fault, right? You don't have to put too much pressure on yourself. But if it's something that happens as a result of, let's say, a conflict or a disagreement or something, try your best to see how you can remedy that particular situation. But if it's not possible, it's okay to still let those networks be, right? But if these networks are still very, very much important to you, okay, what to do to revive this network is, first of all, reach out. Always reach out and strike up a conversation. It's been a while since we touched base. What has been happening in your life, and all that. Okay, this is an update from my life, and that's how you make that connection again. And then if it's between like yourself and a mentor, or yourself and someone who is more advanced in age and wealth and all that and experience, how to do that is by, first of all, recognizing how you can add value to them at the current stage of their own life journey or development at that point, and add that value. But first of all, reach out. That's the first thing. And tell them why you are reaching out. Okay, don't just reach out and just start offering value. No, reach out and tell them that you are reaching out because you believe it's been a long while, since you touched base, and this is that they are so important to you that you would love to have them continuously in your network. By that way, they already understand that, okay, this person is genuinely interested in me and they will love me to be in the network, and it opens up those doors. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Okay, thank you so much for those important information. We really appreciate. So, what would just be your final words to everyone who comes in contact with this resource?
Okay. Yeah. So, like, life is about relationships. Life is all about relationships. Okay. And if anyone who is serious about attaining any level of success in life has to be very conscious of the fact that people matter, right? And it's very important that you yourself, you keep working on yourself to become a person of value so that you can also matter to others, right? And in networking, it's not like an event. It's not like a transaction that ends. It's not like an exam you write and that's all. No, it is a continuous thing. Okay. So first
Like
of all,
an investment.
yeah, it's an investment. Thank you. It's a continuous thing. Be a likable person